Hey guys, welcome back to the Extra Point with Mark and Joel. Coming to you guys with Week 12 of college football, cold beer and hot takes. You guys know it's the tradition. Let's get them popping. Salute.
Salute.
A little
Ooh,
ASMR.
sound
Heard that
crisp.
shit,
Yeah,
right? Right.
as
Okay.
the new gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, shout out our sponsors, Amazon that we paid for. Well, actually, shout out Joel for getting these mics. Because the mic and the quality has been off a bit, so we're trying to improve that stuff for you guys. But shout out to big homie Joel. Okay, getting into it.
Let's go.
A hot take, and it pains me to say this, but the Texas A&M Aggies are the best football team, college football team in Texas right now.
I think most people agree with you. The Texas A&M at the moment is the best team in Texas. They've been the most consistent. They really haven't struggled a whole lot since the beginning of the season when they went up against Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and then they almost had that scare against Auburn. But like, who isn't having a tough game against Auburn? I feel like everybody is at this point. But
Right.
no, it look like Texas A&M. They're focused. They haven't had too many injuries to like set them back. At this time of the year, like usually. And the narrative is that A&M tends to fall off in November. Looks like that's not the narrative this year. Um, Behind them, I mean, my honest opinion, I think behind Texas A&M should probably, or most fans would think that Texas Tech would be the second best team in Texas. After that, the Longhorns, and then you could have a good debate between SMU, North Texas, and TCU to
Right.
fall right
Right.
behind them.
Gotcha. It's funny how like the majority of the teams in North Texas that we're kind of really talking about compared to like you know Rice or the Cougars down in Houston, or even like the Roadrunners in San Antonio. But yeah, I think that's a cold beer. It's not really a hot take. A&M's playing really good. They're playing consistent. They're playing physical football. I mean, it's just there's not a lot of real holes in their team. And if if you right, you don't agree with me, that's fine. But like A&M, they haven't shown any weakness. Like Texas, we have some weaknesses, and that's been exposed, and we lost games for that. Um,
Hmm.
Texas Tech has showed some type of weakness. If you really want to put the nail on them, it's well, they can't stay healthy. Why? Because their quarterback went down for a couple games, and that's when they lost the game to ASU. If their quarterback was able to remain healthy and his own line was able to protect them, they might be undefeated as well. So, shout out to A&M for being, relatively healthy and having those guys play and be a contributing factor to them to be undefeated. And I like how you brought up the group of five, like SMU is not group of five, but like, the Mean Green, those guys, they're a good team. I think the Mean Green can go to and go play the Cougars any day of the week and give them a real fight. I think it's a real close line between Texas Tech and Texas. I mean, the last time these two teams played, Texas smoked these guys right before we left the
Yeah.
Big 12. But that was a time where Texas Tech was finding himself in this NIL world. But I mean, Texas Tech. I mean, as of right now, they have shown less weakness, so I'd probably put them above Texas Longhorns as well. 100%. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of. Our next take would be Brian Dable, the former head coach of the New York Giants, just got fired. Do you think the Giants did it too soon, or should they have given Dable one more season, or at least a full season with this rookie quarterback?
Man, I feel like he always gets the short end of the stick. Something always has to happen in his season for him not to, you know, coach to his full potential. I mean, he lost Saquon Barkley to a injury a couple years ago. Then next year he gets traded. This year he loses Cam Scatterboo. He
and
loses
neighbor.
one of his and neighbors. Yes, So he loses his two top offensive players all in the same season. Had some really close games. One against Broncos, they should have actually won. And I just think being at New York, being that the media is so involved, I feel like they should have at least given him at least till the end of the season, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Just a tough environment in general to be a head coach any of the New York teams, even at the Jets. They're going through the exact same situation over there. I feel like would you rather be at this moment? Would you rather be a Giants fan or a Jets fan? What's going on right now?
I would rather be. Ooh, that's a good question. Both are miserable. You're gonna have a lot of bad days. I would probably just go with being a Giants fan, just because you're the team that stopped Brady from winning two more Super Bowls and the Eagles. But I'll probably be a Giants fan. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for Brian because like you said, like he lost every year. He's losing something, losing something, losing something. And I think this year what kind of made like the ownership maybe kind of finally like give him like the hey, get out of here, was like the Giants have lost so many games by one possession. The Cowboys game overtime, you know, that's something that a coach needs to have his guys play better and finish out the game because they were up on the Cowboys. So actually, well, they were up at one point. They're going back and forth. Against the Broncos, smoked like a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then this weekend against Chicago, smoked another lead. So I think the front office is like, hey, like Brian, like we know you're not winning, you don't have the best pieces, but when you're in a winning situation, you've got to close those games out. But it's kind of interesting to see what New York does. I don't know who they would hire. Well, I don't know who would want to take that job. Hey, it's not really an attractive job. You want to go to a like you said, a competitive city where the fans are super involved. There's a lot of pressure to win now, no matter what circumstances. And you saw that they gave the last guy 2.5 years or 3, and they're trading away your star players or they're getting hurt. I mean, like who wants to go coach there? Like who would be the next coach for the New York Jets?
Do you think they'll go for a college coach? Like at this point, like it's New York City, but at the same time, you're like, damn, that city's they've been in a drought for such a long time.
Right. Yeah, that's a hard job to take on for sure. I can tell you that.
Let's stay on this topic since we're already in New York. We're talking about it. The Jets are loading up to make a big trade with all these draft picks that they're picking up and letting guys go. What do you think about all these players they're letting go for all these picks they're getting? It's a good move.
I think it's the Jets are, their front office is, at least they're not blind. They might suck, but they're not blind. Mm-hmm. They're saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to win anything today or tomorrow, but maybe next year we can win. So what they're doing is, hey, you know what? Let's sell this, let's sell that, and let's start over. Let's build from the ground up, make a strong foundation, and then be a consistently good team. I mean, for me, I'd rather be a team that wins 8 to 10 games a year, but we don't win anything, rather than being every year, a 3-win team and how many ever losses. The Jets.
You sound like the Bills.
Would you rather be a Bills or a Panthers fan right now? But like it's like what was it? I think the Jets, they went 5 years or 3 years that they had like the number 1 pick back to back, and it was just a band-aid and a band-aid and a band-aid and a band-aid. And they're looking around like, okay, like how do these coaches come to a franchise and they're asked the first year or two, but they're better and better and better. Like Jim Harbaugh going to the whatchamacallit, the Chargers. Starting off
Chargers,
slow,
yeah.
but building a foundation, exactly. Or even like Mike McDaniel going to Seattle, not being good the first couple years, but getting young guys on the team. And now look at them. You know, both of those teams are Super Bowl favorites. So I think that the Jets are saying, we don't need star players because we're not going to win shit right now. What we need is a good football team. And once you have a good football team, you can insert those few star players, and then that makes a difference. But there's rumors that the Jets are not a super bad team. They have a quality defense and a quality offense. I think they're a little more than a quarterback away, but if they had a quarterback, they can win a whole lot more games. And there's some talks that they're trying to go after some veteran guys like a Joe Burrow, or a Matthew Stafford, or Dak Prescott. Like, can you imagine the Jets with a consistent quarterback play? I mean, it would be insane. Can you imagine that? Because Cincy
get Joe Burrow out of Bengals.
Exactly. Cincy, it doesn't matter, and Joe Flacco proved this. They have expensive weapons that can score points, but they have no defense. You're not going to win at all. You saw that last year. You guys went 9-8 and had like the most prolific offense, but you guys still lost. Like Joe Burrow had an MVP type level year, but he didn't win the MVP because his team was so ass.
Look at Sam Darnold. Look how well he's played since he left the Jets.
Yeah,
he's playing really. He really fixed his whole career going into the Vikings, and he's not doing a bad job at Seattle. To be honest, I feel like that trade, letting Geno Smith and getting Sam Darnold, was a pretty good switch, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, too, like, I don't know when it became a fashion, but like when you were drafted to be a quarterback in the NFL, nobody expected you to play the first year, not the second year. Maybe by year 3, people, are they going to use him this year or not? And like after 2010, 2011, it was like, okay, get out there. And then by 2017, 2018, it was like, if you're a first-round quarterback, you have to start week 1. And kind of like Baker Mayfield, the first 5 years of Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, like you just brought up, the first 5 years, if they're in a bad situation, they're going to be terrible. But they're also going to be terrible because they're just young guys, but they get more experience, and look where they're at, I mean, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield played for these guys. Played for the Panthers.
I don't know why he left. I don't know why he left the Panthers, bro. That was probably the best situation you guys had. Like,
yeah.
And it also proves that Baker Mayfield's ready to play. I mean, he learns the offenses in less than 4 days, and he performed well.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah.
That's the kind of guy you want in your franchise, but shit, let him go.
Panthers on Panthers.
True. Let's jump back into the college football world. Let's go with our fourth hot take. Notre Dame shouldn't be in the top 10 AP poll or the CFP rankings.
Woo, that's a hot take. Okay, Notre Dame has 2 losses. What are the losses to? A red hot September on the road, week 1 versus Miami, and a nail biter 1-play deciding game versus number 3 A&M. They're not the worst losses in the world. Like, if they lost 2 home games to unranked opponents, I would agree with you 100%. I do think Notre Dame is a top 15 team, but top 10 is kind of pushing it. Now, if you put them at 11 or 12 on the brink of it, I wouldn't be too upset. The same way we want people to honor Texas' loss to Ohio State, we kind of have to have some honesty with Notre Dame losing to Miami. But Ohio State has been true to who they are. They are the true number 1 team. Miami just nosedive. So that's where that's where the argument comes in. Hey, like, well, if Notre Dame, we thought they lost to a good opponent, that opponent's ass, then that L is actually pretty worse, But then we got to flip the narrative for Alabama. Well, Bama took a bad loss to FSU, but Florida State is actually not that good. Bama, you should be lower. You're a one-loss team. Oh, but yeah, at the end of the day, we want to award. I think the committee's pushing the narrative. Hey, go play tough games. You go play tough games. They're exciting. They're out of conference. They're once in a blue moon, and it's good viewership. And we're not going to punish you. So the same way they didn't punish Texas for losing to, they didn't punish us. The same way they awarded us, playing Alabama out of conference when we were Big 12, or playing Michigan last year. Like, those games have incentives. So maybe count them as a half L. But I agree. Notre Dame shouldn't be a top 10 team. I do think they're closer to 11 than like a 14 team.
I feel like he kind of said it in there, like, join a conference where you're going to be battle tested. You want more. Technically, the committee wants more viewerships in these playoffs. Well, then prove to this committee that you're worthy of playing in the CFP. Because, I mean, your best win is against USC.
They don't have any top 10 wins.
No, and the only reason why I say this because they put Notre Dame in front of Texas. Texas already beaten a top 10 team, like three of them. Well, they play. So they play OU. They beat them. They play Vandy, they were ranked number 9 at the time, and they also in the loss to Ohio State. So playing that many top 10 teams in one season, I mean, that has to show some, it has to reflect back on on our standings at the very end. We're willing to go out of our way to play outside of a conference against a very good team. I mean, national championship team. When was the last time Notre Dame ever thought about trying to go up and play like the number 1 SEC team or the number 1 Big Ten team? They won't do it. They're scared of the Big Ten. They won't play anybody from the Big Ten.
Right. Yeah. That's a great take. You want to be treated as the cream of the crop of all these other teams that have grueling schedules, that the Big Ten has 9 conference games and the SEC is going to up theirs next year to 9 because the SEC respects that. Hey, we play 8, y'all play 9. We're going to up it. That way it's even. Like, we want people to put an even playing field. You can't be, hey, well, we're independent. We're Notre Dame. We have all this history. That's fine. Then you have to work extra harder to make that strength of schedule make sense. Like, let me look up the strength of schedule. Let's see. Strength of schedule. College football. I know Florida's got waxed this year, but let's see what Notre Dame ranks. Boom, 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 boom. Michigan. Okay, that's a resume. What's FIP stand for? I don't. Oh, sorry, guys. Resume. Okay, look at resume. Who has the most impressive resume? A&M, Indiana, Ohio State. Then it's Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss. Then it's Oregon, BYU, Texas Tech, and then Texas. That's the top 10 most impressive resumes. That means where are your losses and where are your wins? How impressive was that loss? How significant was that win? They have Notre Dame at 14. So, I mean, hey, like, we need more consistency. Like if you're going to, the same way you're awarding these SEC teams and maybe 4 SEC teams get in and 4 Big Ten teams get in because their schedule is so grueling. So what if you have a 2-loss team in there or a 3-loss team? They have to play 5 top 10 teams. That's really hard. Notre Dame, they get 2 top 10 teams and 1 at home. you're in good shape. So it's just North. Three Big Ten teams and three SEC teams.
No, good take, good take.
Gotcha. Coming up, we got hot take. The Patriots. Drake May is going to lead the Patriots to a AFC East divisional championship. The past couple of years, it's been all Bills. You think the Patriots are going to finally knock them off?
Oh yeah, man. This Patriots team seems fun. They're right behind their head coach. This coach hire is impressive. What he's done with the Patriots. They seem to like have it all under control. I mean, they haven't been above a 500 team a while since Tom Brady left. So to be 8-2 is pretty impressive at this point. I got not only that, the Dolphins are dog shit. Even though they beat the Bills this past
That's
weekend.
crazy.
Yeah. And then the Jets are the Jets. So
yep.
I feel like Patriots have a comfortable lead. They have a 2-win lead over everybody else. But the Bills, I mean, end conference Bills are still they're still. Oh wow, this is impressive too. The Patriots on the 7-win win streak. That's like back when Tom Brady was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Patriots have a really good shot at winning the AFC East this year for sure. And
what about
finally making it?
Gotcha. What about Patriots making it to the AFC Championship game? You think they can make that?
Ooh, AFC Championship. Now, do they have what it takes this year? I don't know, man, because there's teams on here like the Bills are in and out, you know, in every year. Chiefs are in there every year. It all comes down to personnel. Like, do these guys know what it means yet? You know, because there's guys on like in this Bills team that lost it multiple times. So every year they're gonna be hungry to get back in that championship for their conference. Do they have a good shot? I think so. I mean, every team has a good shot, but do they understand like the importance of it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we might be seeing the Bills and Chiefs in here. You know, just because they're the most clutch teams in this AFC side. They come in clutch in big moments. Now, are the Patriots ready for those big moments? We're not. We don't know yet. You know, because they haven't been in this moment in years. So,
right.
That's my take on it.
Gotcha. Yeah, really, really good take. I like it. Kind of bouncing back to college football. Talking about the CFP based off what we've seen on the first week of their releasing, and every Tuesday they're going to release their new updated bracket. But it looks like a lot of signs are pointing to that the ACC, if they're lucky, they'll get one team representing that conference in the playoffs. If they're lucky, a lot of people say it should be nobody from the ACC. What's your take on that?
ACC, they're going to get a team in there for sure. Now, do they deserve two teams? No, I don't think they deserve two teams. That conference has been awful. This past weekend, I think two of them already dropped. Like Virginia lost. There was one more that lost over the weekend. But you just had your highest ranked ACC top ranked team lose this past weekend, Virginia. That's bad. That looked really bad on the ACC, sorry. And then you kind of hope that Miami was going to hang in there and, you know, take it all the way and go undefeated. That just hasn't been the case this year. So it's just been an ugly mess. I think if they're lucky, they'll get one in. And you know, I think one of the things we're talking about, like, would you rather have a 2-loss ACC team make it over a 3-loss SEC team? You know, it comes down to that. Like, which
Right.
one do you think does the committee will give a better game? You know, a tested week in and week out SEC team rather than a two-loss ACC team.
Right. And one thing
Kind
the
of.
committee said that they didn't like how last year their first rounds are blowouts. They want more competitive
Mhm.
games, and they can't afford blowouts. They need competitive games. They need the best going at it.
Yeah. And this kind of works in the favor for the SEC, the Big Ten, getting four teams in, and I think that's the best for college football. Allowing the two powerhouses, conferences to let 4 teams in.
That's the best case scenario. That would be there would be so many classic games. The committee lets that happen.
Yeah.
There'll be so many instant classics.
Would you think that it will trickle down? Like maybe Big 12 only get 2 in. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't let Notre Dame in. They don't let Notre Dame in, and then maybe I don't know. Just by a miracle, a Power 5 school makes it in.
Oh,
But like I said,
I
a
mean,
miracle. Power 5 schools at the moment. I mean, I think that South Florida or James Madison. James Madison just got ranked at 24 over South Florida. That's insane. Like I wouldn't let a James Madison in the college football playoffs.
that is absurd. I mean, whoever plays James Madison week 1, it's like a bye week. You can beat him with your twos.
Yeah,
You might be able to beat him with your threes. It's
I
just
like I said, that's not the best thing for football right now. Letting a school with like a Power 5 school with 2 losses in. That's insane.
right. Yeah, just like last year, like the committee did a good job. If you want to be a Power 5 school to make it in, well, it's not Power 5, it's Group of 5. My bad. A Group of 5. If you're gonna make it, you got to win your conference and be undefeated. And if
Yeah,
you say, "Well, that's not fair," none of these teams are undefeated, and these teams lost their conference. Go play Power 4 football. Tell me if it's fair.
yeah,
You want to take the easier route, which it is the competition. There's a bigger gap, especially in the trenches and these bigger in the Power 4. But if you're in a Group of 5, it's still a dogfight by all means. A lot of respect to those guys, but it's just you have to balance it out. If you're gonna represent that group, you better be undefeated. That would be kind of cool if they did like a World Cup version of the college football. Like every 4 or 5 years, they let in like these odd amount of teams in. Like that would be kind of cool, but that would never happen. Like imagine
that'd be
like
cool.
a JUCO would get in. Like if a JUCO got in, bro, they had to go back. It had to be a three-peat Natty championship team. Or like that one team, South Dakota,
Man,
when the FCS school. They need to join the FBS and be a Group of 5 already. But no, really good take though. I agree with you 100%. Fernando Mendoza will win the Heisman. His performance last week wasn't the greatest, but he did what a Heisman does: be the best player on the field when it matters, and he went down the field to score. You think he wins the Heisman? Was it too early?
that drive, no, that drive right there, that winning drive against Penn State, that solidified his argument on why he should be the Heisman winner this year. Like that catch, I mean, props to that guy. He landed both. He did a no catch, and
Right.
being pushed out at the same time. That's a tough catch.
Insane.
I feel like the keeper is not getting enough credit on that. But he got both feet in the end zone, and just that throw, that the focus of not hitting his head on the goalpost too. That was just an insane catch. I feel like that like this past weekend, Fernando Mendoza, he solidified himself as why he should be a highly candidate for the Heisman Trophy. I'm looking at the odds right now. He's plus 170, just under Julian Sain over at Ohio State.
Wow.
The guy, the QB next after him is Tom Simpson. Maso Diego Pavia is still in the mix. Gunnar Stockman, Jaron Smith, Jeremiah Love, Haynes King, and Trinidad Chambliss. You know, majority of these are just QBs and a couple of receivers.
Right. I mean,
But yeah, I think after this performance, I think Fernando was a good argument.
yeah, it's the Heisman. I kind of hate how like it became like a quarterback award. It's not a quarterback award. It's the best player in college football. And when you're the best player, it's when you try to compare the best player on your team versus the quarterback, it can kind of get hard because the quarterback is the focus of the team. Doesn't mean they're the best player. There's some teams that like their defensive tackle, like Aaron Darnold, he was the best player on that championship team for the Rams, but it wasn't really focused about him. You know, it was about the offense and the scoring, yada yada. But like Aaron Donald, he was so effective in the pass rush or in the run game that teams had to double and triple team him. If teams can do that, more guys are open. More guys can. There's more guys that they can cover the box with or cover the field with. You know, and that makes the defense more efficient. The defense is more efficient. The offense gets the ball back faster. The offense gets the ball back more times a game. It just trickles down. Like Julian Sain being a Heisman candidate is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like he's a talented young man.
He's not the best player in Ohio State.
He's not. He's not the best player on the team. I promise you.
No.
If Julian Sain didn't have Jeremiah Smith, his stats would be like a whole notch below. Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football. I mean, for a while I thought it was Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs, he's a dog, but Jeremiah Smith, he's one of those ones, man. I think he's like the closest thing to like LeBron James when it comes like prospect. He's just insane. Like there's no weakness in his game. It was. I mean, I'm glad you said that. Like you can't win the Heisman, be the best in the country if you're not number one on your team. It makes no sense. But I think Mendoza had a really good game.
I agree. I feel like I really agree with that. You know, like you're pretty much. I think we can honestly all agree that Ohio State's kind of holding back at the moment. Like they're not playing to their full potential. They're not blowing out teams 40+ points. They don't have to. You know,
right?
They got a good enough defense to hold these other teams down to lessen the score. You know, and then I'm really glad that you said like who is the best player on their team. You know, today Jordan McGuire, you know, Texas Tech head coach, he was arguing that Jacob Rodriguez should be getting more recognition, should be getting more Heisman talk. He's their best linebacker on the team.
Yeah, he's the best defender.
88 tackles recorded, seven forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, 1 sack. So clearly he's the best player on that team, and he's arguing like why is it that all these QBs are getting recognized for the Heisman Trophy? QBs have their own award. Let them keep that award. Give the Heisman Trophy to the best player at their position.
Right.
And he's arguing that Jacob Rodriguez he's playing the best football in the country in his position. You know, and arguably he's already the best player on the team. I mean, it's a good argument.
Yeah, 100%. And I get it. If there's a quarterback that he's like one of them dudes, give it to him. That's fine. But like, no quarterback this year has played good enough to like, oh yeah, you're the Heisman. You know, because like, who are the Heisman favorites? Garrett Nussmeier, but he underperformed this season. Cade Klubnik underperformed. Arch Manning underperformed. So it's like, you know, if these
Miami
guys, Carson Beck, there you go, you're right, underperformed. Like, why are those guys the Heisman favorites? Like, it's about the best player. Like, you should have, if they said Jeremiah Smith for Jeremiah Love and let's say, I don't know, Cade Klubnik. Okay, you're giving other player positions a chance. But the committee's like, oh yeah, it's a quarterback. It has to be a quarterback. I don't like that. I agree with that Texas Tech head coach. I like that he said that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. We'll see. This weekend's gonna shake up a lot of things. We're probably gonna see, teams, college football dreams, playoff dreams come to an end. So we'll see what kind of hot takes we come up with next week.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, showing us some love. Please like, subscribe, comment. We'll be back for our Texas Tuesdays, breaking down the Georgia Bulldogs versus Texas this weekend. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah. Hope you guys have a good night.
For sure. Thank y'all. Have a good one. Peace.